Welcome back to Athletic Everyday, day number 215. Today is the first day of the program that I wrote for myself. Actually kind of looks very similar to the workout I did the other day. And that's just by chance from the workouts that I programmed. A lot of them are very similar to workouts I've done in the past. And I'm going to start sharing the screenshots of the workouts as and when I do them. In the actual screenshots of the workouts, I've not got sets and reps or volume. And the reason for that is that I'm going to use basically how my body feels and what I need to do on that day to auto-regulate and then also progress the workouts. So every week I'm going to write down the amount of sets and reps that I can do. I'm sort of doing as many as I can on that given day. So what would be a heavy double on one day for a snatch might not be a heavy double on another day, might be heavier or lighter. The weight might change, and the same goes for the volume. One day I might be able to get 3 sets of 2, and then another week I might get 4 sets of 2, but obviously the aim is over the course of this program to increase the amount of work capacity and volume I'm able to do with these movements. So today for the sprints, I decided that I was just going to set a 15-minute timer, set the distance for 20 meters, and then just do as many as I can in that time, obviously giving myself adequate rest. So that was the warm-up you just saw there, a little bit of potentiation, a little bit of mobility, a little bit of acceleration-specific drills, because that's the main focus of this training block, is to work on my acceleration phase, my sprinting. And what's also really cool about today is that there happened to be a guy that walked through the training center at the moment when I was doing the sprints, and I was like, well, may as well ask him if he can time me, because I've literally never timed my sprints before. I've never had any understanding about what my times would be like for any of these sprints. So I did 2 2-point starts, which you're seeing right here, right now. Didn't get these timed. Then I decided that I would do 2 3-point starts. He tried to time the first one, but I think he slipped on the button or just wasn't able to get it. So I came back, spoke to him, and he was like, sorry, I missed it. I'm really sorry. And I was like, that's fine. I'm doing another 3-point start anyway. So I decided that I'd do another 3-point start. He timed it, and he timed it pretty much as I crossed the line, but he also timed it as soon as I started moving. He didn't give me like a clap to go. See, he thinks that potentially it could have been a bit faster, but 2.83 for 20 meters. I'm not sure if that's fast or slow. I'm going to have to look at the normative data, but I was like, as long as it's below 3 seconds, then I'm happy with that, if that makes sense. So like, for example, if you do a certain number of meters, then you want to have the sort of seconds below that. Obviously, no one's really going to get below 2 seconds for 20 meters, but I think below 3 seconds is decent, considering I'm not like a trained track center or anything. So that's a good time to aim at improving, given that it's not the most accurate time, but it is something to go off of, which is quite nice. So yeah, 6 sets of 20 is what I ended up doing. 2 2-point starts, 2 3-point starts, and then 2 4-point starts. So that's the volume for the sprinting for this week. And then next time I do this workout, I'm going to try to either improve that or maybe increase the distance or potentially slightly reduce the rest time in between sprints. We'll see how that goes. Another thing I was going to mention actually is that for this program, it's going to be the first program where I'm not basing it around a 7-day split. I've decided that I'm going to do a 21-day split. So the reason for that is that oftentimes I think the sort of default that people use is to do 7 days, like a 7-day week, Monday through Sunday. I'm just going to try and cram everything I need to do within those 7 days. But that isn't how the human body works, and the human body operates on certain cycles for supercompensation. So different qualities like strength, speed, power, endurance, all of these qualities, they have certain amounts of time that they need, like biologically, to supercompensate. So for example, strength training, generally, it's in the literature accepts that it is somewhere between 48 and 72 hours for your body to supercompensate and adapt to the stimulus of a given workout. So at most in any given week, say you're leaving 48 to 72 hours, ideally probably more like 72 hours for a strength stimulus. The most you're going to be able to do that in a week is 3 times. So if you're trying to cram 4 of those into a week, or you're like, I've got to strength train 4 times this week, it's always going to feel like you're missing out something. But if you have a 21-day cycle where every 72 hours you're doing some kind of strength training stimulus, and every 36 to 48 hours you're doing some kind of sprint stimulus or speed stimulus, I think that is a lot more of an optimal way to do it, because you can just get a lot more in with regards to training multiple different qualities, which is what I do with Athletic Every Day. I train strength, I train power, I train speed, I train isometric strength. There's all kinds of skill work as well. Skill work, ideally technique work needs to be trained as frequently as possible. But not to the detriment of other qualities as well. Nonetheless, talking about this workout, So the snatches, I didn't want to do snatch doubles like I did the other day. I decided that I would do snatch 1+1, so full snatch plus hang snatch. Struggled with the grip on the bar today. I felt like on the snatch it was fine, but then my hands were getting sweaty and the bar kept slipping in my fingers. So definitely next time I'm gonna bring some chalk, obviously dust down the bar afterwards. And then also bring my straps as well, because it'd be good to get to use those as well. And then for the clean and jerk, I decided that I would do power clean and jerk with two jerks. So 1+2, power clean and jerk, which is quite nice. And then alternating the split stance on those jerks. So for the snatch, worked up to 80 kilos. And then for the clean and jerk, I worked up to 100 kilos for 2 sets of 2. And the same thing with snatch, 2 sets of 2. Missed the first one in the snatch, but then got on the second one. A little bit of rest to dust off and dry my hands so that I wasn't slipping on the bar. And then lastly, I finished up with some clean pull triples. These felt really, really heavy, and they weren't particularly heavy. I've done heavier clean pulls in the past. I think this is, so the first set I did 110, second set I did 120, and then the third and final set I did 130. So got a long way to go with working on the strength lifts for my Olympic weightlifting movements. But again, this is the first time in a long time since I've done clean pulls, and it's going to feel probably the same when I do my snatch pulls. But yeah, that is pretty much it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.